the PBA Playoffs on FS1 tonight from rockin' Bayside Bowl here in Portland, Maine. It is the conclusion of our win or go home first round. Top half of the bracket saw its round one activity last week. Troop, Prather, Page, Gomez, all moving on to the round of 16. Tonight, we take care of round one of the bottom half of the bracket. Malott and Blanchard a little bit later. We start, though, with Kent and Svensson. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famer. Randy Peterson here with you from the Thunderdome of American bowling. Look, no birthday parties or corporate events tonight. Instead, it's 8 of the best bowlers on the planet bowling in the most unique environment in this sport.
It truly is. You know, Rob, I bowled in front of a lot of great crowds in some great environments throughout my career, but I wished I would have been able to bowl in front of this crowd in my heyday. I mean, we got a glimpse of it last week with Kyle Troop, and then especially what Rhino Page did when he started with the front 8 strikes.
Place was erupting. We expect more of that tonight for you. Let's take a look at our 4 matchups that are coming your way this evening, and all of them win or go home affairs. Let's start with our opening confrontation. It's a gym rat versus the Iceman. Kent versus Svensson.
Well, these are 2 of the young guns on the tour, and I'll tell you what, Marshall Kent, well, if you needed to, you could probably do your laundry on his abs. Jim Rat is putting it mildly. And then Jesper Svensson, I mean, got off to a great start this year. Has been struggling of late, but, I mean, Tournament of Champions winner at the age of 20. This guy, when he gets it going, and he has had success in this building, look out for the Iceman. He just may cometh tonight.
Take a look at the tail of the tape between these 2 competitors. Combined 11 tour titles. Yet to win this season, but both so close. Here now, the introductions for match number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 23 seed representing Sweden, Jesper Svensson. Representing Yakima, Washington, please give it up for Marshall Kent.
Let's join the 3rd member of our team tonight, Kimberly Pressler.
All right, so Marshall, when we talked previously, you said being here at Bayside is like going back to your college days. You said it's like college bowling, but on steroids. What did you mean by that?
It just means the atmosphere is chaotic. There's a lot of noise going on, a lot of chanting, a lot of cheers. And you know what? You just have to embrace the atmosphere and enjoy it and take it all in.
You have to totally embrace it here. Thank you so much for your time. And Jesper, this crowd is amazing. How are you going to use that to your advantage today?
You know, I've won in this building before, and I know how good it feels and how good the crowd is. So I'm going to try to stay here as long as possible, and the only way to do it is to win my match. All
right, well, good luck to you guys. Let's get to bowling.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. As we take a look at the lane conditions today, Randall, they're rolling on the Don Carter oil pattern.
Yeah, Don Carter, 39 feet, and we have a southpaw and a right-hander. Let me show you how Marshall Kent is going to attack this pattern. He's going to go in between 3rd and 4th arrow, out to about the 6th board and get it back to the pocket, whereas Jesper Svensson, well, he's going to go pretty straight from the outside part of the lane, throwing that urethane. That's his calling card, Rob. He doesn't use reactive resonance. Tried it, but he likes the predictability of urethane.
Again, 1-game single elimination matches tonight here on FS1. This is the first of 4. It will conclude our opening round as we'll be down to our final 16 next week. Left the 7.
Hard to believe that ball could ever leave a flat 7 with as high a rev rate as Jesper Svensson has.
.93% of the time on the tour, that 7-pin is dropped. Checking the footing there, but he gets out the first clean. Takes a seat. Marshall Kent comes up. He was announced from Yakima, Washington, but he's just moved to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it appears he's found a gym there.
Well, we talked about it on last week's show that he lives about 5 houses down from Darren Tang. Oh, my gosh.
Way right.
That was real quick, real fast, and wide right.
Can't get that far right,
As we take a look at the lane level. A little loft in that shot. Not sure that was intentional. Judging by that spare shot, it looks like it is. He's going to try to go with a little bit of loft. And the reason for that is anytime a player lofts the ball, they're actually trying to delay hook.
Ooh, look who's in the house. Kyle Troop. Last week, took care of Chris Barnes, 236, 205. Guess who he has next Monday night? The #1 overall seed, Jason Belmonte. Give me that match right now. Can't wait for that one.
Oh. One wide right, one up the lane. One-game match, boy. You better make the right decision and then execute. Gets a nice break here with the 3-pin falling late. Keep in mind the winner of this match gets Bill O'Neill.
So 8 spare for Kent.
Oops. Those weren't good.
Svensson, the native of Gothenburg, Sweden. 7 career tour titles, one of them a major. One here in 2017 with Kyle Troop for that Roth Holman doubles championship. Oh, that looks sweet. Oh, that looks sweet.
Well, he's got one of the most unusual styles ever, whether he throws it with one hand or two. He just happens to be a two-handed lefty that doesn't use his thumb, but he does something quite unique during his approach, and it's with his footwork. Watch this. A big step to the right, excuse me, to the left. And watch what he does. As that step goes that way, both feet come off the ground at the same time during his approach. Well, after the strike on the right lane, he comes over to the left lane and goes right through the face, leaving the 6-7. He's going to get his ball over here, or try to at least get the ball to that side of the 6, and throw it over into the 7.
Open frame. Junior Team USA side. That one looks good.
Well, he makes a ball change there, Rob, and actually moves farther left with his feet and opens up this pattern a little bit. It proves to be rather successful on that shot there. Doesn't take much to get him going.
No, Bayside Bowl just needs a little kick, and both these guys are really kind of struggling here with the fresh oil here in our opening match tonight.
2 straight up the lane, especially with that rev rate. .369, not the easiest thing to shoot at for a right-hander because of that back pin, the 9-pin. He's going to hook it. Nicely done.
Now, these two have faced each other once on television. Came last year, Randy, at the PBA Tour Finals in Allen Park, Michigan. Svensson dropped Kent 279, 233. Svensson would go on to finish 3rd there as we take a look at his arsenal, going with pitch black right now.
Well, it's either pitch black or pitch black. Or another pitch black, all drilled differently. That's what he likes to do.
Get a comfort zone, man, right? If it's working, keep riding it.
You know, when I first saw him about 4 years ago on tour, I remember him making a show in Reno, and I'd never heard of this kid. And I went up to his tour rep, Tim Mack, and I said, "Who's this guy?" And he goes, "Oh, that's Jesper Svensson." He says, "He's a left-handed two-hander," and he says, "When he's able to use urethane, nobody can beat him."
Tim Mack, also the same gentleman who discovered our #1 seed, Jason Belmonte, when he was just a teenager.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. That's one of the fastest ringing sevens you'll see from a left-hander.
Still just one strike for Svensson.
Look at that. I'm surprised as fast as that went around the 7 that it didn't create its own vortex and just suck it right off the pin deck.
Nice use of vortex. The Iceman not happy. Down 10 to Kent.
Baby split, as that shot was inside of the last shot by 2 boards, 2 inches, and it goes through the nose. On a house shot, that would have been high flush.
Cleans that one up. Time now for your hammer tough spare replay. And what Kent just cleaned up in the 5th.
Now this is how you draw it up. You cover both pins with the bowling ball. Another ball change again. Back to the one he started with.
It's going to roll and nestle right next to the 10. Missed it.
Unbelievable. He's had some spare issues in the past, and you really are the worst.
And he almost walked into the ball return. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Another fantastic crowd and environment here at Bayside Bowl. This is the second of 8 straight Monday nights of PBA action here on FS1. Knockdown Monday started last week. We take a look back at it with our Ebonite flashback. Match 1, Andres Gomez took care of Dick Allen, 236-199. Our second match was all about Rhino Page.
It really was when he started with a front 8 and got this crowd off their feet.
And then the fan favorite, Kyle Troop, with 8 strikes. He dropped to 236 on Chris Barnes. He moves on. Our final match, a bit of a rock fight. In the end, though, Prather able to advance.
What if Kyle missed with that pick and stuck himself in the eye?
Caused some damage there. So Kyle Troop, speaking of which, next Monday, 9 Eastern, right here on FS1, he takes on our #1 seed, Jason Belmonte. How good is that match going to be? Strikes on that right lane.
And keep in mind, folks, we're actually bowling on 2 pair of lanes, right? So we're bowling on lanes 14 and 15. That's why there's 2 ball returns. But we're still going to call the left lane the right lane and the right lane the left lane. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Hey, by the way, I've got one other thing to mention, Rob.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Nobody I'd rather spend my birthday with
I know, right?
than Mike Edwards, our wonderful scoreman over here.
Yeah. And
Well, David Bruner, our producer.
and
And these great fans here at Bayside. And you. And Kimberly.
thank you.
Svensson again struggling on that left lane. It's gotten in his head.
Well, the last shot prior to this was a ringing 7. Remember that violent ringing 7? And so the baby move may have been too much, or he missed target. See if I can't get a number from Strike Track and my good friend Brett Sims, who helps us each and every week. Looks like he missed a 4.5.
And he missed that spare conversion.
And then missed the spare. How many times do we see that? We see a lot of spares missed in this building and in this atmosphere.
Iceman unhappy. His second open frame.
A lot on the line. The winner advances, and their hopes remain for the possibility at a shot of $100,000.
That's what will go to the winner in early June. Kent, an opportunity, takes advantage of it.
Looks like another ball change.
Kimberly, was there a ball change?
There absolutely was a ball change. So I caught up with Jim Callahan, Marshall's tour over the break, and he told me that Marshall has decided to do a ball change, which we just saw. Now he's going to go with the pearl ball instead of the solid because that was too smooth and it wasn't reacting enough on the back end. We'll see if it helps him here.
Just his second strike of our opening match tonight. Bartender!
Make it a double!
Now the energy's in the house.
And talk about turn of events. Jesper Svensson had an opportunity. Instead, he comes away with an open frame in the 7th, and Marshall doubles up on his opponent's error.
But he's on his comfortable right lane, needs a strike, and finds it.
The good news for Jesper is he gets to finish the match on that right lane. He struck on it every shot, but he has yet to strike on the left lane. Amazing follow-through, isn't it? A beautiful picture there of his unique game.
So on the left lane, Randy, 9 spare, open frame 3rd, 9 spare in the 5th, open frame in the 7th. This has been his downfall. And the Iceman hammers that rack.
And right now he's thinking to himself, thank gosh I don't have to finish on that left lane. But he set himself up nicely now for a max score of 206. The problem is he can't shut out Marshall Kent.
Kent can max with a 224. Kent extends the double to a triple.
The late, great Billy Whaley used to say, hit him thin and watch him spin. When you have that much power that Marshall Kent possesses, he can pretty much touch the 1-3 anywhere and strike. Now he needs a strike here in the 10th, and that'll put him in the 2 teens.
Kent doing some math work right now. But what he needs to take care of right now, the 4-9. %19% of the time on the tour, it's taken care of. Goes after the 4, kicks it, misses the 9. Open frame.
Bad time for that to happen. Now Jesper Svensson needs the first strike in good count, and he's going to steal this match. Remember the missed 10-pin in the 6th frame by Marshall Kent. And now it's all up to Jesper Svensson.
So 2 open frames for Marshall Kent. He's done with the 190. But 2 open frames for Svensson as well.
He struck every shot on this right lane. He needs another one here. If he does not strike on this ball, Marshall Kent advances.
Must have it, he's got it. Almost there.
He still needs good count, don't get too jacked. But this was a full rack attack by Jesper Svensson. He needs 8 on the next ball. Watch this. This could have knocked 30 down. Just pure filth from the Iceman. 8 on this ball, it's over.
The Iceman moves on.
What a finish. What a back and forth match. Way to step up, Jesper Svensson.
Well, he thought he had this one lost, too. He was disgruntled and visibly, audibly upset with himself. Kent with errors in the 6th and the big one in the 10th. And the Iceman gets the pen and moves on.
You know, I think he's opening up a tattoo shop here in Portland, Maine.
He's got some space on that right arm.
I'd go to it.
Svensson, the lowest seed left, checking in at number 23, closed with 5 straight strikes to take the 206-190 win. Up next for him, Bill O'Neill in early May. But next up tonight here on FS1, Kyle. The 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup kicks off early June. All eyes on the defending champs, and Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd as the U.S. women's national team look to defend their crown in France as they look to win a historic 4th Women's World Cup title. All the matches live on Fox and FS1 starting this June. Cannot wait to be part of that production. And in the meantime, the 2 Rubies here in Portland, both in good moods, right? Svensson with the win, Kyle Troop with the win last week. So both move on to the round of 16. Match number 2 tonight. Kyle Sherman, DJ Archer. Best finish of the year, 2nd for Kyle, 4th for DJ.
The number 22 seed hails from Spring, Texas. Please give it up for DJ Archer. The number 11 seed is from O'Fallon, Missouri. Please welcome Kyle Sherman.
Knockdown Mondays continues here from Bayside Bowl. Match 2 of 4 tonight. Sherman, Archer. Again, win or go home. 1-game single elimination matches. DJ Archer from just outside of Houston. Asked him about this year. He said, so far, so good. Started fast, then a couple of speed bumps. Been making cuts, been finding his way on television. Overall, he gave himself a B+ grade. I'm not sure he's going to give himself a B+ for that shot.
Well, and I watched both players in practice, Rob, and they were trying to get deeper and open the lane up, and there was no oil in the middle of the lane to keep the ball on line, and it might play a little tough this match. That middle part of the lane looks pretty flat.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how he squeezed into those skinny jeans.
That was interesting. Got it by this much.
Yeah, sit, get a paper bag, and breathe. Hey, if you're going to buy stock in a pro bowler, I recommend you invest in this young man, Kyle Sherman, 25 years old, just his third year on the pro. He's been really a wonderful story about halfway through this campaign. A graduate of Lindenwood College in St. Charles, Missouri, where he got his Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Right now, he's working on getting his master's in finance from Lindenwood. Says he's about another 6 classes away from becoming, or from getting that master's degree. Does a lot of investing on his own on the side. Got a spare conversion here. Single pin. Yeah, it's nice to get that one out of the way, isn't it?
A lot of college opportunities afforded to both male and female bowlers these days. Not like back in the day when I was growing up. You know, we never, a lot of us never went to school. After high school, we
went right to the tour.
We went right to the tour. We got odd jobs wherever we could, worked in bowling centers, scrubbed toilets, did whatever we had to do to make it to get out on the tour. Yeah, that left lane is ugly.
We saw it last game, and it's rearing its head again.
Easy, right?
DJ Archer gets to finish the match on the right lane. Kyle tried to open that up a little bit, and he's going to get the ball over into here, throw the head pin into the 10.
1, 2, 4, 10, only done 19% of the time on the tour. Left the 10. Open frame in the second for Sherman.
Kyle does have some experience bowling in this environment. He did make the league last year, got picked by Norm Duke. So he's been here before.
Member of the Dallas Strikers. Again, the PBA League fires up from here in Portland, Maine in July.
DJ doing what DJ loves to do, and that's throw it in the air and throw it to the right. And he's pretty good at that soft hook. When he needs to go straight, he throws urethane. That's pretty much what everybody's doing in today's game. And back in the day, I think a lot of players used to do it with just their hand. You look at his Arsenal Idol Pearl, but you look at a guy like Norm Duke who did it with his hand, and he needed to back the revs out, he'd back the revs out. And if he needed to hook it more, he'd just cup it more and hit it harder.
There's the loft. Left the 10.
6 pin goes around the 10, looks at the 10, and then says, nah. Watch it. Yeah, I don't think so.
Those jeans fit a little better. Not so tight.
You know, I'm not sure he's going to appreciate that. You talking about him and referencing tight jeans.
No. I just meant he had the skinny jeans on that spare conversion before.
Yeah.
These were more comfortable, more relaxed, more cut.
He would never wear skinny jeans. Ever.
My guess is Kyle Sherman would.
I'm with you on that.
And probably the jeans that show his ankle, too. Sockless.
I love it. Oh.
Somebody do a cartwheel over that 10 pin?
I'm not sure, but that ball went through the pins kind of like a wet noodle. And Kyle, you know, that again, when you catch it all and your ball hits that poorly, that really makes you cringe coming back from a shot like that. Talking about a young man who at age 25 had hip surgery. torn labrum in his right hip.
Good to be young, able to bounce back rather quickly from it.
Right? It's funny because we talked to Chris Barnes, who had a similar injury. He said, no way am I having surgery. I'm not 25.
Right. So he just tried to rehab it. Of course, Barnes lost last week to Kyle Troop.
The lineup a little bit, and that time he almost left a 4-6. And that's why I said the left lane, to me, looks like it's getting kind of ugly.
It's too early to get ugly, isn't it?
Well, it's been 2 games, but there's been a little bit of practice from the 4 players that have been on already. Even though Jesper Svensson's left-handed and really not affecting the right side of the lane.
So that left lane is going ugly early and avoiding the rush. Takes care of the single pin spare conversion. DJ Archer, 9 spare strike, 9 spare. Won the Chameleon Championship for his first tour title 5 years ago. He's up 16 as we close out the 4th.
But to me, the right lane looks manageable. You know, the middle part of the lane looks like it's blended now to where there's a little bit of oil in the middle to help push the ball to the right. But he loves throwing it in the air. He's good at it. Look at that. That's almost to the arrows, and that's not full Monty for him either.
I look at that and I just say, boy, that is risky. And I get it. You're throwing your ball over the discombobulated part of the lane.
Sure.
But now you're adding extra elements of potential catastrophe. You got to have the landing hit where you need it, right?
Agreed.
And you got to have the spin and the velocity and everything else that's going with it. And
you better be good at it.
yeah, it's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. I wish I could do it.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Belmonte do it.
Yes.
He's throwing it halfway down the lane. And so many other players that are good at it. And Marshall Kent's very good at it. And it's fun to watch, but yeah, it's foreign to my game. That was interesting. That actually had a little less loft. Almost like he pushed it through the front.
The loft thing, some air time with the bowling ball. Interesting.
Oh, I feel a tease coming on.
There is one coming on. Back to Sherman.
Lights going in and out.
9 spare, open frame, 9 spare, 9 spare, down 15. His effort here in the 5th on the right lane. Yeah, strike for Kid Dynamite.
Yeah, that looked good as soon as it left his hand, Rob. That could cut the deficit to 5 with another strike. Did you see the size of that heed? Heed! 2 bowling pins on either side for years. I love it. Good touch here by Kyle Sherman.
Perfect entry point. Great camera work, too, by one of the favorites here at Bayside Bowl.
Charles. Affectionately referring to our ace handheld, Charles Montgomery. Looking for the double. Gets it. Pour it.
So he sits down. DJ Archer will take over. We've seen his loft, Randy.
Well, when it comes to air, he knows somebody that knows a little bit about the airspace around his hometown in Houston.
That's a tease. Well done. Welcome back to Bayside Bowl here in Portland, Maine. The PBA and Slap It On have created some custom vinyl wall decals of some of your favorite PBA players, the large vinyl decals. They're readily attach to most smooth flat surfaces, can be easily removed and relocated as well. Action shots of more than 30 PBA Tour players and legends are available. Head on over to PBA.com, click the Slap It On banner to order your favorite player.
I can't wait until they come out with yours.
They've already come out with yours. There it is, Randy.
You know,
I've seen that on a T-shirt, haven't I?
That is certainly not one of those wall decals. That's hideous is what that is.
No.
We'll take a look at the two different shots that DJ Archer and Kyle Sherman are playing. You can see how much farther left DJ Archer is, and it's because he likes to throw it a little bit slower, so therefore he's got to allow a little bit more arc and a little bit more room. But you can see right here that about 4.5 boards difference at the laydown area. That's where the ball's touching the lane. That 34.5 board, remember there's only 39 boards across the lane, so he only has about 4 inches until his ball ends up in the left gutter. We take a look at our oil pattern. I don't see a whole lot going on except for the fact that there's nothing really defined here, which means that based on the player's style, they're going to play a couple of different lines through the front part of the lane.
Archer set for another air mail delivery. Come on, 7!
Give us a little dance, Danny James.
DJ in the house!
Watch this, man.
She's going to have to orchestrate a safe landing for this effort here from Archer.
Agreed.
3, 4, 6, 7, 10. 16% of the time it's dropped, Randy.
Yeah, try to get it over the right side of the 3-pin, Rob. Look out. That's bad because
That is real bad.
yeah, he not only misses it, but he loses a ton of count. That's almost like 2 opens, especially when you're working on a double.
Circle the 7th frame.
Wow.
Only 6. The highs of the right lane and the lows of the left. Sherman working on a double.
He went from leading by 15 to trailing by 8.
What pin did he leave?
8. I mean, this is just getting so crazy.
No, they're chanting your name.
Oh, come on!
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
Come on!
I can't hear you, Portland. The infamous 8-pin leave in your career, Randy, and the crowd remembers it.
Yeah, it's sure nice to be remembered. Even if it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me in bowling.
Kid Dynamite drops the spare.
Yeah, that was a not-so-kind break for Kyle Sherman.
Here we are on tax day. Seems appropriate for the young man with that accounting degree that we mentioned earlier. Again, working on his master's in finance right now from Lindenwood while he's bowling on the tour.
He's no dummy.
And on tax day, the accountant assassin drops an audit on the rack.
Don't hit me, Rob. Boy, I'll tell you what, again, as soon as it left his hand, this looked like it was going to be perfect, and it was. A great shot. Should have been 4 in a row for Kyle, but I'll tell you what, after his first 4 frames where he couldn't strike, he's really turned it around.
DJ Archer down 7. Drops the rack there. Jesper Svensson has already moved on tonight. Sherman and Archer in a great battle here in the second of our 4 matches. Only 7 pins separating them. Dom Barrett, Brad Miller coming up next.
Hey, did we mention the winner of this match gets Sean Rash?
We have not.
I just did.
Sean Rash, your 6th seed. All DJ cares about are these 10 pins on that left lane. Oh, late kick of the 10. Saves some face.
Well, this one's going to come down to the 9th and 10th once again, and he's going to need a little help from Kyle Sherman, who appears to be locked in now. This looks pretty decent. I don't know if he missed it at the bottom.
That was pretty good too, Randy.
Yeah, I hear you, DJ. That looked pretty good, and it just kind of scooted on some invisible ice that we can't see from up here. It's funny how you can't hear a spare ball hit the lane. You can't hear it hit the floor.
But the strike ball?
Like Slot.
Incoming.
Well, you know, and the big difference is that cupped wrist. So he's cupping the wrist for a strike ball to create power. On a spare shot, you're throwing it straight. There's no power needed. Just direction.
Sherman up 7. Here he is in the 9th. On the right lane, working off a strike. Remember, he's going to close off on that left lane where he's had some issues. 10-pin jerk.
Well, a little flat again, but that's the heavy roll by Kyle Sherman in that angle. You know, anytime you start to increase angle, a lot of times you need to kind of increase rotation to get the ball to come around a little harder.
You hear what they're chanting right now? Every parent understands this one. Clean your plate. Take care of that spare. Plate is empty.
Nice. All right, still 7 going in the 10th frame. So Sherman double and count. He'll move on. Anything less, DJ Archer still has a chance to win in the 10th frame.
Struck the last 2 times he's been on this left lane. But he also had an open frame in the 2nd on it. There's one for Kid Dynamite.
I'll tell you what, Rob, it wasn't long ago that Kyle Sherman's goals were just to finish a tournament because of his hip. Now his goals are to win out here. He's another strike and 4 pins away from moving closer to a $100,000 payday.
One more shot here.
Needs a strike and then 4. 1 more. Didn't like it, but gets the result. Needs only 4 pins to move on.
Come on. What?
Oh, he just dropped the bomb on that left rack.
Well, this shot's magnificent. And he got it in a little bit, but I think on that lane it developed. Remember early on, you couldn't do that on that left lane, and remember DJ Archer's last shot that went light, and he said, I threw it good.
Only needed 4, takes all 10 down. Sherman moves on.
Right there, baby.
Ring the bell. There's a new sheriff in town. 203-182. Kyle Sherman moves on. He's got Rash in mid-May. So Svensson and Sherman have already booked the round of 16 tickets. 2 more matches to come your way tonight. Dom Barrett and... Welcome back to FS1's continuing coverage of the PBA Playoffs. During the break, Kyle Sherman being interviewed after his victory. Up next, his buddy, his YouTube channel friend, Brad Miller, who's got Dom Barrett coming up next in match number 3 tonight from Portland, Maine. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson back here with you. It is time now for our Go Bowling with Randy question of the day. This one comes from Facebook, and it involves reading, so I hope you're not worried about this one. The question is, my ball, when do I know it's reading the lanes, and how can I speed it up, slow it down?
It's a great question, and because all the bowling balls today come with different textures, shiny, dull, something in between. The best way to tell when you have too much surface for your ball is reading the lanes too early is the motion. So if the ball is starting to pick up and not go to the right if you're right-handed, opposite if you're left-handed, it's probably reading the lane too early. It's not getting to the break point. There's too much surface on it. Also, you can tell by the way your bowling ball goes through the pins. If you're starting to leave a lot of flat 10s for righties, flat 7s for lefties, that ball's reading too early. It's burning up, and it's not going through the pins hard enough. When you see that, that's when you have to texture down. Go to something that's a little bit smoother with less traction on it, if you will.
I like that. Texture down.
Texture
I've never
down,
heard that from
texture
you.
up, texture down.
Oh, my goodness. Knockdown Mondays on FS1 continues here. The PBA Playoffs from Portland, Maine. Bayside Bowl, Thunderdome for American bowling. Another beautiful crowd in attendance tonight. Getting set for our third matchup. 7 career titles between Barrett and Miller.
The number 19 seed is from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Give it up for Brad Miller. The number 14 seed, all the way from Colchester, England. Put your hands together for Dom Barrett.
All right, Brad, so the other day in our interviews, you said to me that this guy to the left is your idol. Why is that, and how cool is it that you get to bowl him tonight?
Well, he's definitely certainly one of them. After his U.S. Open performance last October, it pretty solidified how good he is. But, you know, I wouldn't be here today if I couldn't do it, so I'm pretty pumped for the opportunity, for sure. All
right, well, we wish you the absolute best of luck. I'm not sure if you heard it or not, but this guy said that you are one of his idols. How cool is it to hear that from a fellow pro bowler?
I think Brad's a great guy. He's had a great year, and actually, you know, someone who's been there a little bit longer like I have, you still look around at the younger guys and see what they're doing when they're beating you every week, and trying to learn even from them as well. So I think Brad's a great bowler, but yeah, hopefully I get one more pin than he does tonight.
Are you going to take it easy on him?
I'm just going to bowl my own game. You know, it's like you just have to go out there, and the lane's not playing particularly that nice at the moment in the other 2 matches, so I'm going to try and hit the pocket a lot, make spares, and see what happens.
All right, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
First time Dom has met Miller on television. Miller, your 19 seed, also president of the PBA Players Committee. We had a really interesting conversation with him the other day about what exactly that entails, what he's been able to accomplish, what he hopes to accomplish going forward. But on the lanes, which is what Brad really cares about, he's looking for that elusive first tour title.
Nice opening shot there for Brad. He's yet to make a singles finals up until tonight. Prior to that, his only television experience was with his doubles partner, Kyle Sherman,
who just won. They finished second earlier this season at the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship in Oklahoma. They were the 1 seeds. Barrett drops them all, hammers them all.
Oh, he's going with a high hard one. He's not even hooking it. He's using reactive and he's firing it. And normally you'd see a lot more bend in the elbow and cup in the wrist because Dom is going to try to hook it, but his backswing is a lot higher on this shot because of the speed that he's trying to execute. And then there's still a little bit of bend, but nothing like you normally see with Dom when he's really getting after it. And then very little with the wrist. So that cuts down on the revolutions. Just shows you how versatile Dom Barrett is. The only problem with that plan of attack is sometimes the ball doesn't go through the pins hard enough.
Left the 10 pin there after an opening strike.
This guy's got all the tricks, Rob. Rumor has it he's pretty good at darts as well.
Tell you what, I saw him play darts in Detroit. I was less than impressed.
Really?
Yeah. Talks a good game, though.
Huh. I was told that those guys in England, that when they're done working, when they're done doing what they have to do, they go hang out at the pub and play darts.
They could. I think he does.
I mean, I've never been to England, so I can't verify that. That's got a hook. There's the OB spot.
He just found it.
Yeah, we've seen a number of players find it. So, you know, the dilemma is, and this is what makes this pattern tricky, is that you have to open the pattern up, meaning you have to, for the righties, you have to go left to right with it. But if you go too far, you hit the 3-6 in the face.
Takes care of the head pin in 2. There's tonight's Columbia 300 fun fact, and Brad Miller right there, the only player in the 24-man PBA playoff field to have never made a TV Finals appearance in a singles event prior to this tournament. So you haven't seen him in singles competition, but boy, you've seen him on YouTube. He and Kyle Sherman running a highly successful YouTube channel lately. Has really exploded this season. Yeah, he gets all 10 there. It's Miller time!
You've been waiting all night to say that.
Maybe a little.
Nice little break here. Trip of the 2 out late. There you go, Brad.
There's his buddy, Mr. Sherman.
Why is he not?
There
oh,
you
there
go.
it is.
Yeah,
There's the camera. All right.
He's not wasting tape on Dom, as Dom drops another 10.
Beautiful shot there. 6 does its job, kicking the 10 out.
Back-to-back strikes on that right lane for the Englishman.
There's a big, giant
Wes Malott head. Well, there's a big, giant Wes Malott head, period.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And then that one is actually amplified.
And we'll see him in our next match.
Can't wait to see the big nasty.
Right?
Taking on Mr. Blanchard.
Yeah. 2 great players. Well, let's face it. I mean, to get to this point after 13 events, to make the top 24, you can't suck. Got to be pretty good.
Yep. They're at 7 tour titles, including 2 majors.
That's left. And that may have been the residue of the week 10. Who knows? You can see him, he's trying to trap it, meaning go straight up the lane, and I think he just got that one inside. And again, a one-game match, you gotta go with your gut and your instinct, then you have to execute. I would have thought that Dom would have tried to curve it more.
Took care of the 6-10, which is converted 94% of the time on the tour. Now Brad Miller from Lee's Summit, Missouri. It's his first year as president of the PBA Players Committee. Malott Blanchard waiting in the wings. We asked him, what's the responsibility? He said, whatever affects the players. He says, I try to give our input to the higher-ups. One of the conversations, should this event be a PBA Tour title? In the end, the vote was no, which has caused some further debate. You and I weren't given votes, but I would have voted yes.
I think I would have as well, just because of all the games, all the travel, everything the players had to endure to get here.
Just to get here. Just to get here.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of a title. And I've seen less games. I've seen far less games bowled and titles been awarded. As Brad Miller continues to struggle on the right lane, he will finish this match. And, oh, by the way, Rob, have I mentioned that the winner of this match gets to bowl the wee Iceman, Norm Duke?
Norm, your 3 seed. You can see that match Monday, May 13th. First, though, there's the arsenal for Brad Miller. I'm always disappointed that nobody rolls a ball named the Gunner when we look at the arsenal.
I like it because that ball's named after you.
Idol?
Yeah. My idol.
I'd love to have a ball named after me. I would think somebody could make that happen.
Actually, they could name a ball after you and me. One ball,
Really?
our names.
Oh, I love
We
it.
call it the Stone 8.
I'm intrigued.
Let's copyright that.
Let's trademark that.
Right? Let's
ASAP.
trademark it right now.
Miller working the crowd. This is the third match of the night, so this pattern has seen plenty of action.
Interesting match in that Brad Miller struck every time on the left lane. Dom Barrett has struck every time on the right lane.
Here's Dom on that right lane. There's his strike. Third of the match. Boy, he has owned that right lane. 3 for 3 there. Now his action shifts to the left.
3 for 3 on the right, 0 for 2 on the left. Brad Miller just the opposite.
We're talking to Dom about the challenges of this year. And he said, really, for the first time for me, it's tournaments week in, week out. It's been hard for him to stay fresh. Of course, he's got a beautiful wife and kids back home that are really occupying his brain as well. It's been a long time away from home. He admitted to us, I'm looking forward to next year already. I think I've learned how to manage, prepare for these events on a continual basis. He cannot wait for 2020. Can't wait to get away from that left lane.
Yeah, he struggles on the left, or his struggles are on the left lane. Miller's struggles are on the right lane. Again, it's so difficult, Rob, in a one-game match. You get 5 minutes of practice prior to, and yeah, you could stand around and watch the match before yours and try to get a good, decent idea. Look out. Nice, okay. And get an idea of how you maybe should play, but you don't know until you throw it and you throw your game down the lane. Both players have one lane. Can we figure out the other lane? Lots more to come your way from Portland, Maine when we come back.
Get the conversation on sports started with Chris Carter, Nick Wright, Jenna Wolf. First things first, weekday morning, 6:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Find your way there tomorrow morning. Brad Miller, things all even as he steps up in the 6th, working on a strike. On that right lane, 8 spare, 9 spare so far. Left the 10.
Liked it and should have. It was a good shot and not the result that the player would like to see on that side of the lane, that ring 10, especially working on a strike. He needs to spare this set. Will still be all even through 6 frames. Brad Miller will finish on that right lane. Dom Barrett, higher seed, chose to finish on the left. Neither player has struck yet on their finishing lane. Finished second earlier this year in the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA doubles in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Lost to Sean Rash and Matt Ogle.
Ogle's first win on the tour.
Yes, sir.
Great moment. Tears all over the place, mainly for Sean Rash.
Yeah, Sean was pretty happy for him. It was a close match, and Brad unfortunately missed a key spare late. 4-pin, 98%, should be higher. I think. Pretty easy.
don't think he was thinking about going on the left side of that one.
They're on TV.
I think that was the spare that he missed in the doubles match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Wes Malott, Josh Blanchard, our fourth and final match coming up next.
All right, so let's see what Dom Barrett does. He's been perfect on this right lane. And talking with Sean Ryan, his tour rep, during the break, and discussing some things that he might change.
Oh, yeah!
And one of them was to try to execute a little bit better, and that just looked a pinch right of target and fast.
All right, making a good shot now.
And now it's time to take advantage of it. He's going to bowl 2 more times on this left lane, and one of them's right here in the 8th as he works on a strike. It's time to take advantage of this nice break.
Again, perfect on the right lane, Randy, but nothing but spares on the left.
Yeah.
International players have done pretty well here at the playoffs so far. Svensson and Gomez getting wins. Barrett trying to join the list. There's that first strike on that left lane.
He laid that one down in a perfect spot with the perfect amount of hit and speed. And this was 10 in the pit.
Come on, dickhead.
I mean, I just love what Dom does. He steps on the approach, he puts his hand in the ball, and he just goes.
Strike. Little love tap to drop that last one.
Yeah, it looked like the ball actually knocked the 8 down, the last pin to go. Let's take a look here. Yeah, yep. The ball actually caught the 8 on the way by. Thank God, because at least now I don't have to call my therapist.
For that subject.
I'm going to get a specto number here with Strike Track and see how many boards right that shot was. Almost 3 boards to the right of his previous shot on that left lane. So 3 inches right of target equals a 2-8-10 split for Brad Miller.
Left the 8, took care of the 2-10. My goodness.
He actually threw a pin over into the other lane. There it is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Oh, that 10 pin took flight.
Take a look. It was the 2 pin.
Oh, no, it's the 2 that went over.
It was actually,
hopped the wall.
Yeah, the 2 pin tried to hop the fence and did. There it is. That's awesome. Wow. Great camera work by our crew. Yeah, max score 197 for Brad Miller. Dom Barrett right now in the high 200s. He can close the deal right here with a strike in the 9th and good count in the 10th. Oh, boy. Yes,
Gets
sir.
the strike.
Yes, sir.
Slides over to the left lane, in command, up 33.
It's the first time we've seen anybody play this far right and this straight using reactive resin. Seen it with urethane, but not with a reactive ball. And that's Dom Barrett's talent, flattening that shot out and throwing it faster to keep it on line.
Three in a row, only needs 6.
Pretty good stuff there. Made some quality shots to end it. He'll advance to take on Norm Duke.
Our Our next PBA telecast comes your way right here next Monday night, 9 Eastern. The playoffs continue, round of 16 matchups. How good is that top line, huh? Number 1 seed, Jason Belmonte, to take on Kyle Troop. And then Tom Doherty, a wonderful season he's been having so far. He meets your 9 seed, Chris Prather. Bracket update from the bottom half. Svensson, Barrett, Sherman, all moving on. Up next, Malott, Blanchard. The winner takes on your 2 seed, Jacob Buttriff.
The number 18 seed is from Mesa, Arizona. Please give it up for Josh Blanchard. He'll be facing the number 15 seed from Pflugerville, Texas, Wes Malott.
I think they mispronounced Wes Malott's name. It's actually the Big Nasty.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
15 versus 18. Again, 1 game single elimination here as we close out our first round of action. Next week we begin round of 16 coverage.
Good shot. Yeah, I'll tell you, Rod, Josh Blanchard's got one of the prettiest games out here, and he's a shot maker, kind of a medium power guy, but boy, he sure is fun to watch. A little different hand position in the ball where he has the index finger closer to the middle finger and the pinky finger actually spread farther away from the ring.
You've got a really interesting track technique comparing these two coming up in a moment.
Nice tease.
The Big Nasty from Pflugerville on the outskirts of Austin, just on the northeastern side of the capital city. Strong start to 2019 for Wes. Curls that one in. All right, here's our track technique, Randy.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at Big Wes and Josh Blanchard side by side. Wes on the left, Josh on the right. Big guy's got to lean a little bit more forward just because he's got to get that big body a little lower to the foul line. Those beautiful arm swings that tuck right up underneath the shoulder right here. And then the great hand and release.
Now, Wes is not going to be happy with this one. Again, that left lane has caused issues for a lot of folks tonight.
Well, and Wes chose to finish on that lane.
Open frame in the second.
And let's go back and finish up our track technique and watch the release. 2 completely different hands as you see what Wes does there at the bottom of the swing and what Josh does creates 2 completely different ball rolls.
There's Blanchard on the right side. Gets them all to go.
Big Wes in trouble immediately as Josh Blanchard is all over him like a bulldog on a pork chop following that open.
Back in early February, Blanchard, top 5 finish at the TOC.
Look at him tucking that pinky this time. Get a little bit more on it doing that. Hello. That ball got about halfway down and looked like it hit a piece of tar in the middle of the lane. And then crosses over. Watch this. A little left to target. He's begging for a Brooklyn at that point. Rob, do you know what they're yelling?
I think they're saying more free beer.
Correct. So if Josh were to miss the 5-pin, he'd have to buy everybody in the building a beer. That's just a rule here.
It's a great rule.
Yeah.
Expensive.
would have been expensive.
You heard him.
So spare strike, spare. Now the big nasty, a little bit of an ornery mood right now for that open frame in the second.
Wouldn't you be?
Former player of the year, I would be. And now he's going to be peed off at that 10 pin.
It's a bad time to be a ball return cover because he's about to break a foot off in that said ball return. Look at him, check it. That eyesight looking down at just past the foul line. All right, now he needs to rebound. Hey, listen, it's just frame 3. No time to panic just yet. However, this is going to be a very interesting shot to see what happens after that big split in the second on that left lane.
Going with the high road.
He's going with the high road. You and I, a lot of times, like to take the low road.
100%. Look out. Big Wes. Just looked away. What is going on, Nasty?
Wow. Well, uncomfortable, to say the least. And this is just a whiff to the right. And there you go. That ball wasn't 10 feet in front of him when he knew that it was going to miss wide right. He's actually lost 35 pounds.
Yeah, looks good.
He cut out the sweet tea.
Yeah, I feel his pain.
You know, for me to lose 35 pounds, I'd have to, like, cut out everything. Like, not eat.
Blanchard, 31 years old, 8th year on the tour from Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, I thought that was good.
The winner to take on the 2 seed, Jacob Buttroff, who Blanchard has essentially kind of become a bit of a mentor to. Blanchard remains clean. Only 1 strike, though. Oh, he's bowling with a smile on his face tonight, enjoying the interactions with the crowd. As I was saying,
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go, baby.
Beautiful shot here. That 5-pin didn't know whether to go down, stand up, or, well, just looked like it got hit by lightning.
Wes, a familiar face here in Portland. Remember the Portland Lumberjacks of the PBA League?
There you go, Wes.
So now strikes in the 1st and 5th for Malott. Down 16, though.
This may be a defining shot in this match.
Coming on that left lane where he's had issues.
Trust it, roll it. I thought that was close.
Well, it was close, but I think now he's too deep. He's too far to the middle part of that lane. And that ball just never found enough friction to come around the corner. So now what? Rob, you have any idea?
I don't. No, the big nasty doesn't come to me for bowling advice. 2-8, dropped.
Same line with less speed will make it come around the corner.
The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Welcome back to Portland, Maine. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler back here with you. Our final win or go home match of the PBA Playoffs about to conclude as we take a look at our Strike Track 3D.
Well, I'll tell you what, this doesn't get any closer. The positioning at the arrows is just about a half an inch difference. The break point is identical. And then the thing that really changes down lane is the entry position, and that's because of the different ball rotations. But, I mean, check this out. This is spot on identical. So they're both playing the exact same break point down the lane.
Blanchard up 16 as he gets set to close out the 6th, working on a strike. He can max out at 259. I don't think that messenger is going to reach it or have enough juice.
Yeah, it needed to be a little faster and a little heavier. And again, you know, with the power game that we were seeing week in and week out on the tour, that's the one thing that inhibits Josh Blanchard from time to time. He's just such a good shot maker, but there's times when he needs another 50 RPM to get that weak 10 out. And what a difference it would make for him if he could carry that hit once or twice more a game.
He's had success here in getting that title here at Bayside Bowl. He had to go through Wes Malott and beat Jason Belmonte for that title. He only has 3 on the tour. And you're right, he is so close to getting 4, 5, 6, 7 more on this tour.
Another 10 pin. That was kind of a half ring and 10, half flat 10, kind of different. But another good shot, another nicely executed shot.
Takes care of the 10 pin. You can really tell he's enjoying this atmosphere. A lot of the guys who bowled collegiately drew some parallels to the setting here and what it was like for them bowling collegiately. Now, Wes, that might be the visual summary of how Wes's game has gone so far.
Kind of sideways?
Sideways.
That looked pretty good. And to me, it looked like his hand passed more through the middle part of the ball at release, and then it was directed on a perfect line.
So that's all fine and dandy. That's 3 strikes on the right. The big nasty is back.
So he gets that one to come around the corner, which means he really got after it at the bottom of the swing. But this thing gets out to that same spot where he went light, and look at him running it out. Get out of his way unless you want trouble.
Blanchard ready on the right with that 5-pin lead in the 8th. Through the nose.
Trouble.
The smile evaporating on Blanchard now.
3, 6, 9, 10 as this ball goes right through the nose. And again, the toughest non-splitter washout on the tour. Get it over into here and get that back pin out. The 9 pin. But this is the toughest pair to shoot at for a right-hander. He's going to throw it straight.
And the game will pay it off.
Yep, and we're seeing more and more players do that on the right, shooting the 3, 6, 9, 10 just that way. They move farther left, and then they try to back the ball up into the 3, 9.
It's been clean for Blanchard, but just 2 strikes. 1 on the right and 1 on this left lane. The lead has dwindled to 1.
Yeah, good one. You see that 6-pin go to the sidewall that time, Rob, and cut the 10 out? That's always a good sign for a right-hander. Second from the right. Watch the action. Boom. Little ankle biting on the 10.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all right if I use that?
That's 100%. We're teammates here, my friend.
Thank you. I really like that line. Hey, this could be one of the biggest comebacks we've seen thus far. Max score now for Josh Blanchard, 214. Max score Wes Malott, 223. Remember that second frame open, the struggles, and now he finishes on the left lane.
Last time on the left lane, he struck.
Kick save and a beauty on the 10. On that right lane now, he needs to duplicate it 2 more times right here in the 10th frame. 2 strikes, 2 pins. He moves on. Hey, not bad. Not bad.
Tour has been a real struggle for him since that strong start. Issues in Detroit at the World Series of Bowling. It's just carried over. It's had impacts on him. It's had impact on his pocketbook, his mental frame.
Said he lost his touch after Jonesboro. That plus he's been mentally drained. Right now, he can feel really good about himself with a strike here. Now Blanchard with a spare here for Malott. Blanchard needs 2 and 9 to win by 1.
Got to take care of the spare first, which Wes does.
2 and 9 for Blanchard. Anything less, Wes Malott moves on to take on Jacob Buttroff. Great comeback. Finished with a late 4-bagger, but now Josh Blanchard. Last time he struck, sorry, Rob. Last time he struck on this right lane was in the 2nd frame.
Needs 2 and 9. There's 1.
What a shot. What a shot. Well, he let go of it, and nothing moved.
Former Collegiate Bowler of the Year, Wichita State, getting a huge strike there on the right lane. Needs 1 more, though.
No more smiling now, just all business.
Looks good.
It is good.
Needs 9.
8, we have a tie.
The one thing we haven't seen here in round 1, Randall,
That's
a tie.
Yeah.
Re-rack time. For the win. Must get 9. Way wide right. Malott moves on.
Malott
The big
wins.
nasty sitting down. Goes to the round of 16.
Unbelievable. After 2 pure shots, he was the head pin. Look at Malott. Nobody more surprised than him.
Out of respect, he is going through a subdued celebration right now, but in the end, get the Sharpie and put Big Nasty on that board. Jacob Buttroff, you're next, my friend. 1 more look. Needed 9.
Oh, he got it going right and missed it.
And got 7.
Unbelievable.
Let's go back to Kimberly with Wes.
That was kind of heartbreaking to watch, but you won this sitting in the chair right there. Walk me through what you saw happen.
I really don't know. I know my heart goes out to Josh because I know I've been battling through a lot of stuff like that on my own. I really wanted to get up and shut him out in the 10th, and I wasn't able to. And like I said, my heart just goes out to Josh because I've been in those situations so many times, and I know what it feels like. Now, hopefully, I can just run with it and maybe get to the live box shows in June. Let's see what happens.
Congratulations.
So the Big Nasty moves on. We'll see him next in early May. The bottom half of the bracket is now filled out as far as the round of 16 is confirmed. Wes Malott joining Jesper Svensson, Dom Barrett, and Kyle Sherman in moving on. Next Monday night, the 22nd, our coverage begins at 9 Eastern as the PBA playoffs continue. Now, though, it's the round of 16, and the format changes